What is up, everyone? So today, the EU32, I want to dig into a little bit more. So this is a car I keep coining as America's roughest Skyline. As you guys saw, it is pretty bad, but it's also pretty great at the same time. So it's at 4 years, wasn't running. I got it running, ran great. Last video, we got it driving for the first time in 4 years. It raged, it was sketchy, but it was a blast. And now, it is time to try and make this thing a little bit more put together, maybe a little bit safer because it still has no brakes. Had jumper cables going down the side of the car to get the battery going. The fuel, it's a mess, but you guys have seen it and we gotta tackle it some more. So, we've seen the gremlins in the engine bay. We've seen how rough it is, we've seen all the rust, right? Been pretty good, not too bad. We've seen how rough the outside is, you know. Typical. It is time to put this thing in the air for the very first time and see the underneath of it. We've crawled underneath it in the back, but we really haven't got the full effect of underneath. So I'm a little worried we're gonna uncover some new surprises, but I don't know. We gotta get this thing in the air and well, let's check it out and cross our fingers. It looks just as good as the rest of it. All right, so I'm a little surprised, but I'm also not surprised at the same time. So, the front looks fantastic. This looks great. Check it out. Looks like it's been covered in grease its whole life, so it had no reason to rust. Nothing's crusty. The bolts look like they're not gonna be all seized on me. Even like the overall underneath. Not too bad, right? Then we have this. Holy shit. Oh man, what even happened to this thing? It looks like someone tried to patch it too. Look at this, there's like a patch panel right there. Oh my God, that is the carpet, by the way. Oh man. I don't even know how to explain this. Oh my God. Even this side. This side has a patch panel too. What happened to this car? What kind of life did this thing have? Imagine if this car could talk. Like, the amount of stories it could probably tell is just unfathomable, but whatever. So, there's a hole there. I'm never gonna worry about that again. Just let it bang. The rest of it, frame rails are existing. That's good. Not too shabby. There's not like holes where you would expect them to be on this thing. Like, this looks like a decent 90s Japanese car. Even the lines, a little crusty, but there's no holes. But then we have this. I can't wait for Brian to see that. I don't know, whatever. So that part's not structural, so I'm not really worried about it. Like we said, this car is gonna be the shot missile car. As long as it drives good, safe to drive, I'm happy. And that, maybe we just won't drive it in the rain. What we gotta do today is we gotta take this battery cable and we gotta run it all the way to the trunk. So easiest way to do it is honestly, we're gonna zip tie it up against the brake lines and stuff. It's just like the simplest and honestly not an unlegit way of doing it. So the big pain in the ass part of all this is this car originally had Hikis, which is Nissan's all-wheel steering. So if you look at the rear, right here, you see this? Yeah. There's a Hikis lockout bar. So there used to be a mini power steering rack right here that used to turn the back wheels just a couple degrees, but that was the 90s and they thought it was a good idea, but everyone just deletes it. So the previous owner, I think they looped all the rear lines and stuff like that. And so now we just have a bunch of dead hydraulic lines in the way. So we're gonna rip all this stuff out because there's no reason to be there and it kind of just gets in the way. I'll make it easier to run our power cable because we'll just run it where they used to be. This stuff just really clumps up the engine bay and since we won't be using it, might as well get rid of it, right? Sure. Oh, get that, dude. Get that out of here.
Nice, nice.
There we go. Get this out of here.
Gorgeous.
Look at that. This is all gonna go. Ugh. Cool. So we have two high pressure lines coming off the pump. We are not using those. Get that out of there. And this stuff should just kind of. Oh, that's fun.
Nice.
That's where the power steering went. It's very interesting. Get that out of there. We don't need it. Yeah, this smells real bad, doesn't it?
Real bad. This is so much.
Plenty more to go.
Great.
I hope we can get this to work.
Whoa, okay.
Here we go, boys. There we go. Get that there. And then show them the pump right here. There's a big pump on the frame rail. Nope.
I don't know where I'm looking.
There. There's that pump right there.
This?
There we go. Another one. Man, it's so freaking... I'm gonna push myself off this ladder. One. There we go. We got him. Now we can unbolt it. We got so much room down here. Oh, that was a mess. There we go. Get out of there. But we're out. We are out. Thank goodness. Get out of here. Look how much room we have now. And we can take all these lines out too. But wait, there's more. Here we go. Jeez. Looks like a murder scene just happened in here. Buy 32, they said. It would be fun, they said. And there's still some more. All right, so all the high pressure power steering lines are out, which is crazy to think there's that much stuff in here. But we still have to take out the reservoir because there's that and a couple low pressure lines attached to it that we won't be using when we delete the Hikes entirely. How full do you think the res is? I'm about to find out. I need a GoPro strapped to my forehead. This is difficult. Look at me right now. I'm a mess. Where's RJ? Come on. Okay, thank God. All right, looks like the res is empty. We're good. Now, come on, come on. There we go. I think we're finally good. Don't need this thing. That out of there. Oh my God, this thing's huge. Oh, there we go. This thing is ginormous and it weighs like 20 pounds. This is the only piece left of the entire air conditioning system and it's big, it's heavy, you can get rid of it. And then last but not least, oh man. All right, so we got the rest of the AC stuff out. We got all the Hikes stuff out. Now what we're left with is just a low pressure line to where the res was. So when we put the new res in, we have a low pressure feed to the rack. We have to take a non-Hikes power steering pump, which I have over there somewhere, put it on there, put a belt on it, and get a high pressure line from that to the rack, and we're good. That will save.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we had, all you gotta do.
What'd you think over here?
It's a disaster.
Tell me about it.
Jesus, what are you doing? Oh my goodness, dude.
My goodness. Everything's all right. It'll be all right.
Don't remind me. MB battles and a clap Skyline. Too familiar.
Oh man, we went to go do this on Drew's and we just pulled his engine, remember that?
It was awful. That was yeah, still remember that.
Yeah,
that was awful.
Yeah, no fun. Whatever. Now we have a fresh start, so. All right, so we're stopping the video real quick for a very important announcement. What are you looking at?
I'm putting the Instagram post up, but I make sure I got everything.
Interesting.
What are you in me for?
So today we are dropping the first merch drop inside the new building. This is the first new merch drop in this building.
First new merch shop in this building and in the last few months.
Yeah, it's exciting. Jay, lay them out on the counter. Show them the new t-shirts. So we have 4 new t-shirts. I'm pretty pumped about it. So you guys remember Drift Day is the best day we did forever ago. Everyone loved that one. Well, we did kind of like a sequel to it. We did a no time, like seat time shirt. Got the red bride seat with the O logo on it. It's pretty fire. I love this. You guys have probably been seeing us wear these t-shirts in the background for like the last week and a half, but
Product placement.
Product placement, right? For all the car guys out there, you know, you spend most of your life just wrenching on your damn car, and well, we kind of did something to commemorate that, and that is the Wrench Your Life Away tee. I love this because, as you guys know, we're wrenching every single day down here, and I don't know, I just thought it was pretty cool, right?
Also available on a sticker.
Stickers, right? And then, of course, we have the house logo. We had to do a summer color, and so we did the pink lemonade.
Oh yeah.
I love the colors. I think they're pretty dope.
This color looks fire in person. Either can or it doesn't do it the right justice.
I think there was like a day that we all wore this t-shirt, but
everybody had it.
Everyone had it on. So the last tee is a pretty cool piece. This is actually it's simple, but it's like a pretty big step for us, and I'm really excited about it. And that is our Oak/Link collab t-shirt right here. It's nice and simple, but being able to work with a company like Link is huge. They do us so well. We sell so many of their products. We have everything on our website if you guys want any Link products. And to be able to do just a collab piece with them, something as simple as this, is really badass, and I honestly am super grateful. So it's cool. We got the Link backsplash on the back, nothing too crazy, but we wanted to produce something that we can give to people who buy an ECU from us. Since we're not really able to touch the pricing, we wanted to entice people a little bit to buying it from us, and well, you get a free Link Jimmy O collab shirt whenever you buy an ECU. Well, we figured we'll put them up for sale too if anyone wants to cop one, but you get it free when you buy an ECU. So, on top of that, we got a couple new hats. Got the new, just kind of like a classic logo right here. I love this piece because it's kind of classy, and I love the stitching on the back, because as you guys know, I always get it on backwards. Then we got the burgundy. So last batch of hoodies. People were asking for it, so we're doing one more small batch for the entire summer. So there's a couple new pieces on there. Check it out, shopjimmyo.com. Once it's out, it's out. So there it is. There's our shameless merch plug. But all right, so the first thing we gotta do is run a power cable all the way to the trunk so we can relocate the battery in the trunk, because we have no room in the bay to do it because it now has a front mount. So, well, the cheat code is to get welding cable because it's flimsy, easy to get, it's cheap, it's easy to route, and it's a lot cheaper than getting battery relocation kit wire. Right, Ant?
Very cheap.
Very cheap. There's a million different ways to do a battery relocation. Essentially, all you need to do is get power to your starter, alternator, and your fuse box. They all meet at a terminal up front in the engine bay, so we're gonna just utilize that since it works, and we're just gonna go all the way back to the trunk. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna utilize the brake lines, because they're already tucked up, right? So it's tucked up out of the way, so we're just gonna use zip ties, also known as what, Ant? Cable ties.
Cable ties.
Cable ties.
Yeah.
So we're gonna tie up some cable. So we wanna follow the route that's already here. So we're just gonna give ourselves some slack up here, and we're gonna actually use where the Hikis lines used to go. Also, you need 25 feet. It might not seem like you need that much, but you end up using a lot. Cut these things, look at that, oh yeah, man. So one of the tricky parts is trying to figure out where you want your battery cables to go into your trunk. I want to try something a little bit different this time. I want to try using a bulkhead. Now this thing's a little bit big, but I should do the trick here. It's just a trunk floor. So I'm thinking we put a nice area like right here. Drill a big old hole in the floor. So this will sandwich the floor. We'll put a terminal on the inside, and then this will give us a nice power terminal to go into the trunk. And so like a nice sealed piece. What do you think, Pete?
Yeah, is that the same one we use on Nissan? Or?
Same exact one.
Yeah, fun fact.
Look at that. Another hole in the Skyline.
A second ago, Jimmy asked me if he should edge prime that hole.
I feel guilty, like, you know.
I told him he was crazy. Listen, always touch up your bare metal, but in this case, there's no way that's failing first.
There we go.
Stick your hand through the hole. Let's see the top.
Oh. Fancy. Look at that. Look at that. Look legit or what?
I should go help Donald find his exhaust leak.
Yeah, do that, bro.
So making sure you have a good battery tie down is very important when it comes to drifting, because that's like one of the first things they check at tech. You don't got a good battery tie down, you can't drift. You're swinging around with this heavy piece of mass. You can't have this thing going anywhere. So as much as I want to just like rig something to the floor, I'm gonna put an actual battery tray in, like a nice one, just so when they see this car at the track, at least the things they check first look legit and they get a better feeling about the car. That's a good way of thinking about it, right, Ant?
Very good way.
Good way, right? So we're an Interstate battery dealer, if you guys are local. So I always get their MTX 35, which is like their dry cell, like an Optima. Way better battery, way cheaper. It's a little fancy for the car, but it's a nice little billet box. So this way, the battery actually sits in it and doesn't move around.
Mark it, drill it, nut and bolt.
Just nut and bolt it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy. This car is in the condition that it's in, and I still feel so guilty just drilling holes into it. You ready?
Yep.
That was the easiest installation ever. I love it. No gas tank and no fucks. Makes things a lot easier. Awesome. All right, well that thing's legit. So now what we have to do is gotta get a power cable that goes from here to our little bulkhead. And we put a ground cable on to somewhere on the chassis. Funny how a little heat shrink makes things look so professional, huh?
Very.
Forgot I had these for underneath too. How nice is that? Then boom, ready? Boom. Look at that. Little sock, dude. Big fan of that. I didn't show it before, but we put a breaker in right here, just in case anything shorts. This will trip instead of, well, causing a fire.
A few moments later.
And there we go. Battery looking somewhat legit. Terminals, the breaker, my bulkheaded, covered. Love that. She's a unit. So now let's attach the front. We're good to go. All right, so the front's super easy. So there used to be a battery right here. From the factory, it comes with a battery right here because these come with a side mount intercooler. This was a battery tray, and then it was converted to a front mount, and now we got no room for battery. The story goes on, right? It happens all the time, and that's fine. So that's why a lot of guys like to relocate the battery. So if you look, we have this terminal right here, right? So this gives power to the fuse box in the chassis, and then this actually gives power to the alternator and the starter. All we have to really do is put a cable lug on the end of this, attach together, and we're honestly good to go. Nothing too fancy.
I don't know if you can hear that on camera or not, but
You know, I felt real guilty doing that, to be honest. Alternator and starter, fuse box, battery. Sandwich them together. And there you go. That's it. Tuck this away.
don't ever think about
Don't
it again.
ever think about it again. And that's it. Look at that. If we could just get this to stay there, it'd be nice. If you want to be a little more legit about it, you can get these little battery posts right here. Check it out. So you can kind of just bolt these to wherever you want, and then all those power cables you could bolt together and have it on a post versus them kind of to each other just flapping around or whatever. Either way, it all works. This just looks a little nicer. So it might be hard to tell on camera, but honestly, it looks so much nicer in here. Like, we have so much more room to work with. It like looks like it has some breathing room. Obviously, we got to put a reservoir and a power steering pump back in, but compared to the old stuff, this is a whole night and day difference. So this makes me feel way better about the car. So everything is hooked up. That means now the car doesn't need jumper cables and a battery in the back seat. We put this on. All right, didn't hear anything burst. Do the honors, buddy. This thing should be independent now and be able to start on its own. Damn, that was cold start too. Bullshit. That's awesome.
It's a lucky charm.
There she is. That is so good. That's an awesome feeling. I know it's something as simple as literally just starting it up on its own, but it's one less whole system that we got to worry about now. The battery's in there, it is tied down, it is to track spec. We're good to go. So that is one thing off the list to getting this thing back to being somewhat of a car. Not bad.
Not bad.
All right, so I was hoping to get a little more done today, but I think we made some good progress. We got out all the Heike stuff. It was such a mess. It was honestly way more of a pain in the ass than I thought. And the battery tie down and cable, it's all good. That's good to go. That should be good for a long time. So now I gotta do the brakes, gotta finish up the power steering once the line comes in, mount up the fuel cell, and it should be drift ready. Unless something else breaks. I don't know, we'll find out, but I'm excited. I really wanted to dyno it today because a lot of people were asking, and honestly, I'm curious, but we just ran out of time. I'm exhausted, I gotta go home. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think it's gonna make? Because it's supposed to have an RB25 Series 1 turbo in it. It's probably on a 10-pound gate, I don't even know. It felt like it made like 250 horsepower, but who knows? When you're having fun, things feel faster. So let me know what you guys think. Probably the next video or the video after that, we'll find out because we gotta continue on Brian's LS swap. We'll throw it on the dyno. So besides that, fresh merch drop, hop below, shop Jimmy O, and yeah, so with that, we're gonna end it. So you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more content. We'll see you guys very shortly.